Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 144. On today's episode, guys, we're going to be giving you some different type of content. We're going to be giving you a start, sub, sell challenge. We're going to be giving you three players who play in the same position, and then we're going to be deciding which player is going to be starting our team, which player is going to be in the bench, and which one is going to be sold. But guys, remember, I post a link on Twitter at Kool-Aid Podcast 10. Anytime you guys want to join and give your thoughts, comments, or if you guys want to join into the video, always feel free. Just go on Twitter, move the mouse, click on the link, and then you'll be able to join. But let me introduce my co-hosts for tonight, both Alvaro and Alex. Guys, say what's up.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up, guys?
All right, how are you guys feeling?
I mean, I know I'm gonna get all the right answers, so whatever you guys say is gonna be wrong automatically. I'm not even gonna bother.
Okay, so we're about to see what's it called? Alex's zero ball knowledge. We're gonna be looking at that.
Spurs or nothing. Either Spurs or nothing, bro.
Spurs or nothing.
But
Okay, okay.
I don't think there's any Spurs players in this selection, or there might be. There might be one or two, but you guys
Ooh,
know.
wait, you know what? I was actually thinking of including one, like just to see what you might say. Okay, okay. But guys, first order of the day, first three players that we're gonna be deciding when they're gonna be sold, subbed, or whatever. Left wing position, as you guys can see,
Yeah,
Rafael Leao,
that's good
Kylian
competition there.
Mbappe, Vini Jr. Okay, okay. I'm gonna start now. I personally rank. Oh, see, this is tough. This is actually like really tough.
I'm
But
intrigued. I'm intrigued to hear from a very, very biased Barca fan here.
oh, I'm extremely biased. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have Kylian Mbappe first. Kylian Mbappe is gonna be starting on that left hand side. Vinny Jr. is he's gonna be on the bench, and
Okay,
Rafael Leao
okay,
is gonna be on
okay.
third.
Yeah, no,
He's gonna be sold. He's gonna be
no,
sold. I'm
I
sorry,
thought we were gonna sell Vinny. I was like, oh, holy shit.
I don't
bro.
think it's that delusional.
I was tempted. I was tempted. You know what?
I mean,
I was,
overall, he's terrible at FIFA, not at this
True.
decision. So.
Okay, no, in my case, you just gotta. I completely agree with Elias. Leao, I mean, he's gonna be world class, but he's not at the level of Vini or Mbappe just yet. At least not just yet. So I think start Mbappe, bench Vini, and sell Leao for a good amount of money.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Alvaro there. Like he said, there's three very talented players. Now, all three of them bring different skill sets. If you want goals, I will probably say get Mbappe because he's a good goal scorer. Vinny is more of an assist provider and more of a chance creator. I guess in that sense, he plays more as a traditional winger. He crosses the ball more, takes the one-on-one more. I mean, not that Mbappe doesn't. Mbappe is also a phenomenal dribbler and very quick as well, but Vinny just has a different purpose. He's not as much as a goal scorer. So they definitely bring different attributes. And Leao, of course, he falls more in that category with Vinny, but he can also finish. Now, it's sad, but because I really am a big fan of Leao, but I do think the only right answer would be start Mbappe, bench Vinny, sell Leao.
okay. And do you guys all agree that Mbappe is like the best player on here? Because when I'm looking at this list, I'm thinking like, hey, yes, I would rather start Mbappe, for example, but I don't think that he is the best player like here for like on this list. I think the technical ability of Vinicius Jr. I think he has a higher ceiling than, for example, than Mbappe or Leao. Just I think that Mbappe is just he's more efficient, and,
Okay,
and,
but
and and that's
I
being shown in
mean,
the numbers.
with what you're saying, who knows? Maybe Leao goes on to be the greatest winger of all time, and then his ceiling is much higher than Mbappe's or Vinny. So I'm basing my list, my start bench and sell. I'm basing it off right now, and I'm not basing it off what they mean to the team, because if we're gonna say what it means to the team, I mean Mbappe is the CEO of PSG, but
Bro,
but
and do you guys see how he's gonna be leaving PSG
yeah,
at what's it
I
called?
forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, like for Fabrizio Romano, guys, he's been reporting how Kylian Mbappe has basically declared he sent PSG a letter saying that his intent is not to renew with PSG for the next season. He's I mean for the season after.
If he comes to Madrid, I don't know how Madrid's gonna be able to pay for his wages, but that's beyond
Bro,
me.
it's actually insane. Madrid have spent 100 million on Bellingham, which we can talk about. Wait, actually, what do you guys make of Jude Bellingham going to Real Madrid?
I mean,
Okay,
it's a good signing for Madrid. Obviously, they're getting finally they're replacing their aging midfield. But as good as of a move as it is in theory, I don't think it's a good deal. I don't think Jude Bellingham is a 100 million player. I think certainly the same way I don't think Jack Grealish is a 100+ million player either. But that's a different story. I just think players and English players are significantly overpriced and overvalued and overrated. And nothing against them. I think England produces some phenomenal players. I just think the media exaggerates a lot, and I know that's a very common opinion amongst football fans and basically anyone that watches the sport. I just think 100 million for Jude Bellingham.
It's
It's
a
kind of
lot. It's a
kind of
lot.
honestly,
Madrid over because
I-
this guy could very well flop.
honestly, it's a good move, but now we gotta get ready for the Madrid fans to say we have the best young midfield in the world,
the
and then
best,
we got
and it's not. It's not. It's
and
not.
then we gotta fight about Pedri and Gavi. Whatever, man. You got a young world class midfielder. Will he perform with Madrid? We'll see. I mean, when you come to Madrid or Barca, it's always some major shoes to fill. So he's gonna have to step up for Modric and Kroos. So
Yeah, what's it called? And the thing with Jude Bellingham is that there were a lot of Madrid fans saying that he's a generational talent. For example, that he's going to be up there with Zidane and all these players. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like
that's another thing. That's another thing.
he's nowhere near that quality.
He picked number 5. He better fill at number 5.
Exactly. That number 5 is Zidane's shirt, and like he's gonna have massive shoes to fill. And one thing I do have to give him props is he's a what's it called? Like he's a very likable guy, and on top of that, he's very young. I believe he's 18 around there, 19. So 19 actually. I believe
What
it's
are we
19.
doing wrong, bro?
Exactly. He's playing. He's a 19-year-old
Facts.
playing for Real Madrid.
Literally
That's
in my
actually.
fucking room, making videos, bro.
No, but that's actually crazy. Just to think about.
Nah, but look. I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna get heat for this, maybe from you guys or maybe from our viewers. Don't don't think that just because I'm gonna put this example because I feel like it's the first one that came to my head. Sancho, what happened with him and Man U? Obviously, he still has a whole year to bounce back from this past season. He wasn't able to translate that success from the Bundesliga to the Premier League, and obviously,
That's true.
different positions, different
You're right.
players, different setting. A lot of factors play into this. Bellingham's even younger than Sancho.
Hmm. And
So,
another thing to keep in mind is
but
that he's
now,
going to Real Madrid.
but now,
Real Madrid.
exactly. And what I was just gonna say, media and everything surrounding Madrid is toxic. Like any major
Yeah,
club is toxic. As soon
man.
as you
Hmm.
fail in the slightest, you're fucked. It's as simple
Yeah.
as that. So he's gonna have to really step up mentally, mainly mentally, and because I mean I'm rooting for him. Yes, he's a Madrid player. We gotta hope for the worst when they play us, but I'm rooting
But,
for him.
but as a player, I like him and I
Exactly.
respect him.
So
Yeah,
we'll
definitely,
see
definitely.
he's got some very big shoes to fill. So
I don't know if you
Uh-huh.
guys have seen this, but recently there were some shots fired from Kroos on
On
Hazard,
Hazard, yeah, I
and
saw.
I found that really
Wait,
funny because he was
wait,
talking
hold up.
about yeah, because
Let
it
me
was
see if I
in
can find
regard
it.
to yeah, the whole thing was in regard to Jude Bellingham and him coming over, talking about very a very expected player, someone who's gonna they're very much anticipating, expensive, this and that, and he's like, well, hopefully he said something along the lines of hopefully he actually plays and has the impact that other players haven't, referring to Hazard. Again, I'm grossly misquoting him, but something along those lines. And I thought that was hilarious. It's really a shame what happened with Hazard this past few seasons.
that's pretty unprofessional from Kroos.
Oh,
It's not like he handles the team's wages and contracts, but
right here, 103 transfer fee. We now also had someone who came for a lot of money and virtually let his career rest. It wasn't rest; it was like die. A lot of money, and I think everyone would say in retrospect that was not such a good transfer. But now let's start from the positive. Now,
Okay, at that point
Shots
you're
fired.
being an asshole, bro.
Bro, at that point, like he's just basically saying, "Yo, Cruz."
And
I
for
mean, yo, Hazard,
someone
you came in and
for
your career
someone that's
died.
not for someone that's not Gundogan, one of the best midfielders in history, that's a very bad look to finish your career in Madrid.
I get one of the best midfielders in history. I think
I
that's a
would not say that. I would
We
not
have
say
that's a
that.
huge stretch.
we have to say
He's
because
not.
he
He's not
won.
even top 10.
We have to say
Yeah.
because he won because he was part of that great midfield and he won virtually
No,
every.
we can't say that because then we're gonna include Nacho as like a top as like a top 10, 15 defender of all time because like he's won like what
I'm saying it purely because he was part of that midfield that won all those years from
Well,
Madrid.
no, I think he's one of the best midfielders of his generation. Sure,
But you know what? Those are better words. My point is,
but top 20 maybe. Top 10
my
is a
point is,
stretch.
he's a little too
top
old.
20. I maybe go like maybe that like top 30, bro.
No, I think that's too much. But I think top 20, top 15.
My point is, he's a little too old to be firing shots at his old teammates. So
I mean, but he
Yeah.
is. I do think he's in the right here. I mean, not that
yeah,
he needs
dude,
to
but
say it, right? Like,
you can't just say that.
yeah, he's not wrong. I
that
mean,
transparently to a reporter.
right. I don't think it's the professional thing to do, but he's not wrong. Hazard did waste his career, and yes, he was injured, but terrible recovery. It's like he doesn't care
the
anymore.
way you were summarizing what he said is what he should have said.
Yeah, he shouldn't have said anything, in my opinion.
Well, I mean they did ask him, so like what was he?
Yeah, but
supposed to
I'm
say?
saying he shouldn't
Right.
have brought up Hazard as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Next
That
position.
makes sense. All right,
Yeah,
next
so-
position. Now this is gonna be interesting. Let me, right here. Share screen. Okay, right here. Okay, so we have two world class
boys know my
strikers.
answer.
We have
boys know my
two
answer.
world class
Elias,
strikers right
Elias,
here,
Elias,
and we have a
Elias.
fraud. We have a fraud in here.
Elias,
I
let us go first.
no.
Hold up. No, you're gonna let me
hold up. I'll be right back.
Guys, I want you guys to pick the two real strikers on this list, and then I want to see if you guys can find the fraud. Okay. Wait, where did Alex go right now?
Wait. He took a quick commercial break.
Quick commercial break.
I know exactly what he's doing. I know. I could bet my house in guessing what he's doing right now. Just give
This
him-
guy's so shameless.
give
So
him-
shameless.
Give him 10
Alex,
seconds. Give
Alex.
him 10 seconds. Give him 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna give him as long as he wants. But Alex,
Right.
that is complete and utterly.
Yep,
That
yep,
is
yep.
shame.
Yep. There you go.
Dang,
Okay.
yo, that's so crazy. How many trophies has he won? How many trophies has he
The
won?
Audi Cup is bigger than the Champions League.
The Audi Cup is big.
The greatest striker to grace world football.
Okay,
Next
Alex.
question.
So with that being said, who will you bench and who will you sell?
Okay, well, not trolling you guys. Okay, well, now I know for you guys maybe this is more straightforward. I know you guys are gonna say something along the lines of start Haaland, bench Leao, sell Kane. But I'm actually gonna tell you guys why Harry Kane should be starting. Now, hold up. You guys gonna have
Hold
it
up,
in mind.
let him cook. Hold up, let him
Have
cook.
it up in mind. Have it up in mind. Okay. In this season in the Premier League, Haaland got 36 goals. Harry Kane got 30, right?
Yeah,
Okay, that's 6 goals.
Yeah.
Now, yes, obviously Haaland had a bunch of hat tricks, but did he really do it when it mattered? No. In the UCL final,
4-1
my
Arsenal.
man's- I'm sorry.
4-1 Arsenal. Well, actually,
Okay,
no, actually, the Man United game, like Haaland played well in that game. But
Okay, yeah, but in Arsenal, he scored when it didn't matter. They're already winning 3-1 in like the 90th minute. It doesn't matter.
Bayern.
Let me say something. 25% of his goals in the UCL came against Bayern Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, 5 goals. I think it's great. But okay, no. But getting back on track.
Homie, put up the numbers, bro.
Hold up. Give me a second. So, yes, he scored a lot of goals this season, but who is he playing for? He's playing for the best team in Europe currently. He has De Bruyne. He has Gundogan. He has Rodri, John Stones, Jack Grealish. Okay?
Yeah.
Phil Foden, Riyad Mahrez, Julian Alvarez when he plays with him. So, to put things into perspective, yes, he's scoring a lot of goals. But he's playing with a stacked team. Harry Kane scores 6 less goals in the league because obviously we know Spurs haven't been a competitive team this season because they have a lot of other problems.
And Haaland City plays to distribute for Haaland.
I'm sorry?
That City plays to distribute for Haaland.
Exactly. And we've seen when teams have played decent defense against Haaland, when they have said, okay, we're actually going to make sure he doesn't get the ball, he has no impact. Against Madrid, he didn't do anything.
Okay,
He
but
missed,
here's
he missed two, he
but
missed two
I come and ask
mismatches.
you here. When was the last time Harry Kane performed in a big performance? Because I remember like the last huge performance was England versus France,
Yes, yes,
and,
yes, yes.
and I remember Harry Kane taking the penalty, high pressure. Hey, you score, and you
Okay,
said England.
and I remember Messi missing a penalty against PSG in the UCL.
Yeah, I know, but then what happened? Messi in the World Cup against France. What did he do? He scored a brace, and then he scored a penalty to basically
Listen,
advance Argentina. So
listen.
all I'm saying is that
Didn't
I
Messi
remember.
miss a penalty against Saudi Arabia, or am I tripping?
No, he did. He
No,
no,
no, yeah,
it was against Poland.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, but what's it called?
okay, Alex,
That was
Alex.
against Poland
Okay,
when
Hold on,
Argentina
no,
was
Alex,
no,
only
no. We
winning.
get,
Alex,
we get.
No, no,
Alex.
no. Harry, this performance against Harry Kane was like Harry Kane. It's 2-1. England, they have the momentum. You score, England is going through to the next round. Just what happens is that he
We
shot the
scored.
ball.
Whoa, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. There's no
Yo,
guarantee that England were winning that game.
No,
England
no,
yo,
no,
ended
no.
up
yo,
England were
scoring.
playing way better than France. You
Elias,
cannot tell me that.
Elias.
England were playing way better than
Kane,
France.
You were here with
Kane,
me. We're not playing
yo,
better.
Kane missed against his teammate. All right, cut on some slack.
I shut up. No, okay, but
Okay,
realistically,
Alex,
I think
get to the bench.
Like
look,
that ball is still like up in space waiting to drop, bro. Like exactly, like
no, he did
like
the Pedri silly on it. Listen,
exactly. Where is it?
look. I will say this: Haaland is a much more. I mean, not Haaland. Harry Kane is a much more complete striker than than anyone in that list. Now, I'm obviously not stupid. I know Haaland had a crazy season, and I know he's a phenomenal player, and he's gonna be one of the best players in the world when Messi retires. But let me ask you something: is 36 goals with City and not showing up when it matters really as impressive as 30 goals with Spurs, a glorified mid-table team?
My counter response is: has Kane ever hit 36 league goals in the season in his
No,
first season?
but again,
Alex,
who does Harry
No,
Kane play for?
exactly. But is there a guarantee that what's it called that Harry Kane hits those figures with Manchester City? Because I believe like hey,
Just like there's no guarantee that Haaland's gonna get 30 with Spurs. As a matter of fact, I don't think Haaland will break
you
15 with Spurs.
bro, this is actually crazy that we're having this discussion.
Because
Um,
look. I honestly think Julian Alvarez is a better striker than Erling Haaland. I'm so sorry. I think Haaland, yes, he's got great positioning,
completely.
he's got good finishing, but Julian Alvarez' game is so much more complete. He brings so much more to the team. Like, yes, if you need goals, you can have Haaland, but even then, we've seen that when it's mattered, Erling Haaland has not shown up. He
Hold
did
up.
not show up in the UCL final,
He didn't show up in
nor
the
in the semifinals. Huh?
oh he didn't show up in the final.
He
Uh,
didn't show up in the FA Cup final.
in the FA Cup. Nope, nope, no, 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 nothing.
In the big games, he has not shown up. But look, that's not my point. My point is, are we benching? Who are we benching, starting, and selling? In my honest opinion, and you guys, everyone who watches this is gonna say that I have no ball knowledge, that I'm biased. I don't care. I'm starting Harry Kane. I'm benching
Okay.
Erling Haaland, and I'm selling Lewandowski. Lewandowski, the reason I'm selling him, I love him, phenomenal player, but he's the oldest out of these three. He's got realistically the least amount of time left, and to be honest with you, it has not been his best season in a while.
Okay,
Yes, he got the Pichichi, but by his
okay,
standards, it's not a great
okay.
season.
I'm gonna go before Elias.
Okay, go.
Okay. We like to shit on Alex, but I mean, Kane is a unicorn of a striker because I mean, not many strikers do what he does, distributing the ball, and he's probably the most selfish striker there is, to be honest. I mean, the most unselfish striker there is. Um, I must say solely for the purpose of scoring goals and being the first option for a team. And I'm saying right now, I'm gonna pick Haaland. I'm gonna start Haaland. I'm gonna bench Kane. And this without saying this without picking without thinking about the midfield distributes for him, whatever. I will personally start Haaland. Yeah, he goes to in the final, whatever. But okay, Elias, shut up. I will start Haaland. I will bench Kane. I will start Lewandowski. I think Haaland right now is a better striker than Lewandowski. Like Alex said, his years are catching up to him in Lewandowski's case. And I do think that Kane, for me, is a harder decision at the to start between Kane and Haaland than it is to sell Lewandowski. I think it should be Haaland, Kane, and Lewa, but Kane
Uh-huh.
makes a good
Uh-huh.
argument.
Uh-huh. You're
Yes, yes,
100%
yes.
right.
You will start Julian Alvarez over Zidane, Messi, and Ronaldo.
No, no, no. All I'm just saying is we have a guy right here who's completed a treble so far this season, who contributed and started in major games in the World Cup, won the World Cup, won the Copa Libertadores, won the Prem, won the Champions League,
But he's
uh,
never won the Audi Cup.
won every single
But he's never
competition
won the
that
Audi
he's
Cup.
been in. Yeah, all right. The prestige Audi Cup. Don't worry, don't worry. He's gonna win the Audi Cup when he gets the chance. Because he's won every trophy that he started. But question to the panel. Question to you guys. When you look at the career of Julian Alvarez and Harry Kane, thoughts, comments, concerns? Are we gonna call Harry Kane a fraud?
No, because football is a game of 11 players.
Isn't
wait,
the game
Here's my question.
the sport it's winning?
Here's my
Winning
question.
trophies? Isn't
Here's
the
my
aim to win
question.
trophies?
Here's my question.
Asshole.
Here's my question. This is like comparing a backup goalkeeper to a starting goalkeeper because the backup goalkeeper plays for a better
No,
team
no,
than
no, 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 no. But he's not the backup. He started for Argentina,
No,
and he was
listen.
vital for Argentina in winning the World Cup.
Elias is a
City.
valid point.
Like
Julian
I'm
Alvarez-
sorry. We have
Julian
the owner
Alvarez
of
is a gem.
Croatia right here.
Listen. Hold up.
That's
I
right.
understand what you're saying, but again, we go back to the whole concept of who's better, Nacho or Carlos Puyol. Nacho has more UCLs. And I'm not saying, and I know it's an unfair comparison because Julian Alvarez is obviously at a very high level and he's a phenomenal player. Now, would I say he's better than Harry Kane? I don't know. I feel like the general consensus that people have is that Harry Kane is a mid player, but he's not. He's a phenomenal striker. He's England's all-time goal scorer. He's Spurs' all-time goal scorer, and he's the second all-time goal scorer in the Premier League.
I completely. I'm not bashing, for
No,
example.
I know you're
Kane.
not. I know you're not.
I'm,
But
I'm,
look,
I'm I'm just saying that Harry
Look.
Kane is an exceptional talent. Harry Kane, when you look at his career so far, he cannot finish his career with only having the all-time league goal scoring achievement. That cannot be his only thing. He cannot because if he goes down as not having a single trophy, that's going to be a failure of a career. No matter if you're only the people who are fans of Tottenham or the English fans are going to care about achievement. No one else is going to care. Oh, you're the top scorer of Tottenham. No one cares. Where's your Premier League title? When
that's
you
why-
go
that's
into
why
the
he's
conversation
winning-
of all time,
that's why he's winning the World Cup and the Euros in the next couple years.
oh, I forgot. Where was he in the Euros? Against Italy? Where was he?
Well, no, he went to the moon to catch the ball that he sent.
Nice.
You get a lot
Proper
of
question is
right?
this is a proper response. There you go.
But guys, my answer, Julian Alvarez, sell the fraud. But on on a serious, I'm starting the World Cup winner. I'm sorry.
Before we move on, I will say this: Julian Alvarez can and should be Barcelona's new striker.
Oh, I wish.
He is not. Listen to me.
I
Julian
think
Alvarez.
Elias will do devious things for that to happen, bro.
I know he would. But listen, I don't. I think it's a waste of time. Yes, I know he's winning silverware, but realistically, Julian Alvarez is not supposed to be anyone's backup striker. It doesn't matter if Guardiola believes in rotating and having a 50-man death squad, like having like 3 backups for every position. I don't care. Julian Alvarez is a player that deserves all the recognition and all the praise that players like Haaland get.
No, but here's the thing. Before the start of the season, how many people were saying that Julian Alvarez was going to be this good? How many people? Now, this is just credit to this fantastic talent ID that Manchester City recruited, because Manchester City bought Julian Alvarez for 15 million from River Plate.
Oh no, it's
for
a
something
steal.
like that.
It's a steal for sure.
It's an absolute steal.
but that's why I tell you, I think Julian Alvarez would be a perfect fit in Barcelona because he's someone that can move the ball well. He's someone that, I mean, we see how he plays at City. City plays not like Barca, but it played close enough, right? Possession, passing the ball
No.
out, moving it. And I think Julian Alvarez would be fit right in. You know,
Oh,
regardless, we're used to not having the biggest and strongest strikers. We've had David Villa, who's not an incredibly physical dude. Luis Suarez, he's more physical, but not, he's not Haaland. He's not a Haaland, is what I'm trying to say. So, and we've had Messi playing as a center forward for many years in his career. So I think we could do it, and I think that's something Barca should look at. I think his contract is up next year, Julian Alvarez, or is it the year after that?
Julian, he just signed this season, so like I would assume that he has maybe like a 3 or 4 year contract. I don't see his contract ending anytime soon. But yeah, when you think about like the striker for Barcelona, Julian Alvarez is like the first on that list. But talking about the strikers, my order it would be Haaland, as the starter. I wouldn't sell Kane though. I would sell Lewandowski just because of the age, for example.
Yeah,
I think Kane and Lewandowski are of similar levels. Just the only thing is that Kane is younger, by like I think by 4 or 5 years or something. And at this moment in time, he is better than Lewandowski, I would say. And I would sell Lewandowski. But now moving on to our next three picks, guys. Who are you starting? Who are
ooh,
you selling?
that's
And
tough.
Who are you putting in the bench? Pedri,
Actually,
Gundogan.
I don't think it's that tough. Actually, now I gave it a good look. For me, it's gonna have to be De Bruyne starting,
Okay.
benching Pedri, and selling Gundogan.
Okay.
And the reason I have to do this is we all know how much we love Pedri, but De Bruyne is on a different planet. Um, I genuinely think he's a top 10 midfielder of all time.
All time.
When he finishes his career, De Bruyne will go down as a top 10 midfielder of all time. I'm so sorry.
Dang. Where's his
And
international trophy? Dang, bro. I like last time I checked, like
but okay, but what if you have this level and
no major performance in the final. Dang. What's it called? Well, what happened against France in the 2018 World Cup? Dang. What happened in Qatar 2022? Wow. Top
but I
10
do
midfielder of all time?
I do
That's
remember
crazy, bro.
I do remember him slapping Brazil in 2018 in the quarterfinals. So
Yeah,
it's not like he
dang.
didn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, look,
Yeah.
that's not my point. My point is De Bruyne right now, he's ahead of Pedri in my opinion. I think they're very different players to begin with. I think all three of them are very different in their play style. But if you're looking overall, I think I'll have to put De Bruyne right now, starting
Okay.
him, benching Pedri. But it's someone that I'm benching, but like I obviously don't undervalue how
Yeah,
good they're
remember
gonna
that,
be.
we're talking about current form.
Right? No, so I'll have to go second
I
Pedri, and
mean, I
I
mean, if we're going on current form, then the player who would be starting over everyone would
will
be
be
Gundogan,
Gundogan.
for example.
Yeah.
Exactly, because
Well, no,
both Pedri
I'm going
and De Bruyne are
overall.
injured.
I'm going overall. I'm gonna have to go start De Bruyne, bench
Okay,
Pedri,
no,
and unfortunately, I would sell Gundogan. And the reason I'll do it is I know how great of a player he is, and he's someone that's very underrated
He is.
for sure. We see how great he's been for City, but I just look at the potential each half and what I think they will become, and I think Pedri will be a much greater player. No disrespect to Gundogan, I just think Pedri is destined for greater things. And maybe in a few years, if we were to do this again, I will have to put Pedri number one. But right now, I'm gonna have to start
okay,
De
look,
Bruyne, bench Pedri,
look,
and sell Gundogan.
look. In my case, what I mean by current form is like the current state of their game. I'm not saying injuries, not injuries. You score in the final, you didn't score in the final. I mean current state of their game at this point in their career. I do think De Bruyne is the best midfielder in the world, and will go down as one of the best in history, with or without a World Cup, Elias. With or
Well,
without a World Cup, but um, I do think he should be the one to start. Pedri, his ceiling is arguably as high as De Bruyne if he continues to play the way he's playing. I do think he will be the one to bench, and so Guandogan. I mean, he's a little more up there in age, and I think that I mean he's had an amazing season, but I think this one of those positions that one of these three choices that you can't really go too wrong in what you pick. I think City fans would probably do De Bruyne, Guandogan, Pedri, whatever. Some Barca fans would probably do, but die hard. Okay, very, very biased Barca fans would probably do start Pedri. I think De Bruyne is the best midfielder in the world. I think, in my opinion, he should be the one to start. Bench Pedri, and then I feel again
Mm,
Gundogan is one of those that they come in argument because of how good of a year he's had that they should be at the one to start. But
okay, okay, valid. But I am actually starting Pedri. I'm starting Pedri. When you think about the age of this guy and the way he's performing, for example, I don't think that De Bruyne is one of the greatest midfielders of all time. I wouldn't place him up there. I'm not placing him up there. I
De
would say
Bruyne
he.
plays golf.
I am saying that De
Golf,
Bruyne.
Belgium, City in that order.
I am saying that De Bruyne is probably the best midfielder in Prem history. I am probably saying that. Just I'm not saying that he's the best midfielder, like one of the best midfielders of all time. No,
Why?
the lack of international success and the lack of big time appearances. For example, in multiple big games in the UCL.
okay, so here's my question: so if Zidane was born in Zimbabwe and he played for Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe hasn't made a World Cup, I don't think ever, or in
Yeah, I don't think
would
they've
you
ever
But
made
agree?
but
it.
but 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 De Bruyne doesn't play for Zimbabwe. He plays for Belgium with Eden Hazard, peak Eden Hazard in 2018.
Okay,
For
but I'm
he
gonna
had
be honest
Romelu
with you.
Lukaku,
I'm gonna be
he
honest.
had
Hold up,
Carrasco,
hold
he
up,
had
hold up,
Thibaut
hold up.
Courtois. Like that
I don't
Belgium
think
generation,
I don't think
that
Belgium will
Belgium
ever
generation was
listen.
stacked.
I don't no. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Belgium is as good as people make it sound to be. Like I don't think Belgium was ever that team. Like you look at their
I
team,
don't
I
they have
I completely agree with you.
individually.
But
Listen,
that
listen,
team
listen.
is
I,
stacked.
but look,
okay,
I
but
agree.
let me ask you
But
something. Let me
I
ask you
agree.
something.
I agree with
Hold
Alex.
up, hold up,
This
hold
is
up. Do you think this current Brazil team? Do you think this is a Brazil golden generation? Yes or no? Don't explain
no,
yourself. Just say yes or
No,
no.
no.
no, a golden generation. No, no.
Okay. Almost every single player in that team is better than almost every single player on Belgium's team.
Uh huh.
My point being,
But
Belgium.
that doesn't mean that just because you're not a part of the
Either
golden
either
generation, it
way,
doesn't mean that you're expected to
I
win.
understand. I understand those are the best players in the history of Belgium. But my point is, I don't think like if I'm Cuba's best ever player, I don't think they're getting anywhere.
okay,
My
no, but
point, like
look,
Okay,
look,
okay,
look, look,
okay,
look,
but
look,
we're a
look,
golden
look,
generation that
either
won.
way,
FIFA
either way,
grossly FIFA grossly exaggerated how good that team was when they were number one on world ranking. That made no sense to me. Like Belgium never did anything,
okay, no,
and
no,
I don't think De Bruyne like had the teammates,
I
and
agree.
Lukaku let them down.
Look, I agree. But just because this is your golden generation does not mean that it is a top
That it's
team.
good. It's not good. It's okay.
That shows you that Belgium has never been that good of a team in historically. So now this is their best assembled team. I don't think that means that your team is absolutely stacked. I think it's um a team that should make it into at least quarterfinals, maybe round of 16. But just because it's a growing generation of a country does not mean if England now had their golden generation, or Brazil, or teams that have some sort of World Cup experience and recognition, okay, you can say that they have a great team. But Belgium's team, to their standard, is legendary, but it's really not that great compared to other
I,
teams.
I mean, I mean, when you look at the talent level of Belgium, I would say like it's a failed generation, but they should have won way more. And for example, specifically De Bruyne and Pedri, guys, do you remember the performances that Pedri was put in the Euros? Did you remember how well he played? Do you remember how he was playing in the Champions League before we got knocked out? Do you guys remember how vital he is to our team? And on top of that, we have to think this guy's only like 20 years old. This guy's 20 years old playing off the park, being compared to Xavi and Iniesta. The words being spoken by these two legendary players. I'm sorry. De Bruyne, he's fantastic, but I'm not putting him above Pedri. It's that simple. And Gundogan, he's a fantastic player. I would love him to have in Barcelona. Hopefully, he does come to Barcelona. But I'm
Play
but
whoever you want. My go Harry Winks is greater than any English midfielder ever.
who? I'm sorry. I only speak to people in Europe. Um,
And he is in Europe, but
and then Gundogan, I definitely have him. I'm basically selling him.
sell him to
But
Barca.
selling to Barcelona. Look at this fucking guy. All right. This is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting how we do this. Let me put it up right here. Right backs. We have
Mm.
Kyle Walker. We have Alexander Trent. And we have Reece James.
All right,
Start,
so this one's
sub,
actually
sell.
this one's really easy for me. Actually, I'm gonna have to start Kyle Walker. I know he's the oldest out of the three, but if what you want is good defense and decent attacking play, because he's not great creatively up top, but if what you want is good defense and the security that you're not gonna absolutely get cooked by anyone playing left wing, Kyle Walker is your choice, which is why I'm gonna start him. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a player that is not a right back. He's not a defender. He never was. Uh, I think he does great, but he gets bailed a lot by having Van Dijk play on the same side as him. But Trent is not a defender by any means. I think he's amazing up top. He can do things that a lot of players can. His crossing is great. His range of passing is phenomenal. But he's not a defender. I'm gonna have to sell him, and I'm gonna bench Reece James because I do think he has the potential to be the best out of the three because he's very complete. He's got good defense, physical, can pass the ball, can score even. But as of now, I think Kyle Walker is still better, and he's had more success, and he's been injured less.
Okay, okay. Alvaro, what do you make?
Honestly, I feel like I also agree with Alex in this selection.
No, straightforward.
Um,
Okay.
Walker is he's the typical right back. I mean, he's gonna play a great defense. There's not many wingers that I can think of that will get past him in a 1v1 on the sprint. Yes, it's off his offensive aspect. The offensive aspect of his game is not anything great, but I mean, you as a right back, you need to make you need your resume to be only about offense. You right have it more defensive. So I think he's one of the best right backs in the world, and if not, and I'm not gonna say the best because I can't really think of the others right now, but he's one of the best in the world.
It's because I would say that there's a lack of quality right backs in
Yeah,
world football at
yeah.
this moment.
But
Like top.
when we think of a right back, I think he loses. I think he's the best example of one. Reece James has opened some eyes, and I really like him too. So I'm not really gonna say much about him. I think he's a phenomenal player and a very solid right back. Again, like I said, he's a more typical right back. Trent should be a midfielder. Your
Trent should be
your
midfielder.
your own club has this idea that
Di-
he's a
di-
phenomenal right back.
What's it called? Didn't Jurgen Klopp actually play Trent as a what's it called, as a midfielder in the last couple of games for Liverpool?
But
I think I'm not sure, but I think Trent is similar in a way to what David Beckham was. You know, a player that likes playing outside a lot, crossing the ball, and I think Trent would be a great right mid or a right winger even.
I was just gonna say right mid again. I don't think he's a right back. His defense does not do him do him much in this argument. I do think he's the one they got. So
Okay, okay. I'm actually this is like a straightforward. I do believe that Kyle Walker is the best example, but Reece James, he is a valid option. And if you want attacking like impetude, you would want Trent. But for example, he's very like his defensive side of the game isn't up to par. And that's why I would much rather favor Walker. I would rather be solid defensively than be vulnerable up top. But now our next, we only have a couple more. Let me pull up my screen. Wait, where'd it go? Let me see if I can pull it up. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. This one, yes, it is. It's this one right here. All right, let me share my screen. All right. Start, sub, sell. This is actually difficult.
Yeah, so wow. This one is actually the closest one I think we've seen.
Ah, ah.
you know what? Let's switch it up. Let Elias go first.
Okay, okay. Looking at this, I'm looking at the future Golden Boy winner. I'm looking at Balder right here. I'm looking at injury-prone Davis right here. And I'm looking at a French fraud who goes missing in the World Cup. So taking everything into account and being unequivocally objective, I am starting Balde, putting Davies on the bench, and selling Theo Hernandez. Guys,
This guy's a
I'm only
fraud. Guys,
I'm only speaking facts right here, guys. I'm
guys,
only speaking facts.
Elias has
I'm
never
sorry.
watched football in his life. He only plays FIFA. This is how he knows the players'
Okay,
names.
okay, I'll be a middleman. I think Balde is. I think he should be the Golden Boy winner. I think he's gonna be a stud. I think Theo Hernandez is more proven right now. I think he is one of the best left backs in the world. I honestly, I think I will start him just because.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Right.
Don't sound too convincing, Alvaro, because you might like tempt me into switching my mind. Like you're making a very convincing argument right here.
No, I mean the thing is that there's not much. I like your argument. Balde is gonna be the golden boy. He should be the golden boy. And I mean, he's gonna be a beast. But by doing that, we're just thinking of his future form as a player, not his current form. I think his current form he still has to develop a little more. Uh,
Okay. In what areas?
I don't know. I feel like I feel like with the pace of the game, we see how explosive he is on the ball. We see how much ground he covers. He plays really good defense. I think that he's gonna need to. There's always more work to be done with young stars like Balde. I don't think that he's as polished as Theo Hernandez. That's why I want to start Theo. I'm gonna bench Balde, and I am gonna agree with Elias about Davies being a little injury prone, maybe a little inconsistent as a result of the injuries. I don't want to bring injuries into consideration, but I do want to bring inconsistency into consideration.
Okay.
Davies is a really good left back. That's why this is probably the start bench sell that has been the toughest so far, in my opinion. So I
Okay, and
know.
one thing I also would like to mention is that we were actually so close to signing Alfonso Davies.
Yeah.
Like what's it called? Bartomeu actually put a stop to that move just because this
Mhm.
guy was Canadian.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy to think that we could have had Alfonso Davies at the club. That would have been
What a dumbass.
I mean, oh my god. When you look back, just like the incompetence of Bartomeu, just it was like
Mhm.
it was it absolutely demolished the club. But Alex, all right, start, sub, sell. Who's starting? Who's
So
talk to
look,
me?
you guys are gonna disagree with me, but Balde has only played like this for a year, for a season.
Okay.
I think he's
Well,
phenomenal.
we
I
are
think
talking about current form, though. We are
That
talking
was
about current
that
form.
was my argument.
Yeah.
well, okay, no, but he's only played for a season. He's phenomenal. I think he's a great player. He's gonna be one of the best left backs in the world. But these two have played longer. They have more to show for. Okay, and I get Balde has huge potential ahead of him, but the way this is the way it's gonna go actually, because I'm kind of like the conclusion is not really in accordance right now with how I'm building it up, but I'm gonna have to start Davies. I
Okay.
think in his day he is one of the most dangerous players overall. You see his pace on defense, just blistering pace. How he can get back on the ball, win the ball. Great defense. Going up, he's terrifying. He's someone that can pass the ball well, finish when he needs to, and just moves extremely well. I remember that season when we lost to Bayern 8-2.
Oh,
And I remember Bayern's UCL run. It was just disgusting the way he was playing. He was just doing like the movement, the passing, the defense. It was all great. And I'm actually gonna sell Theo Hernandez, and I'm gonna bench um Balde, because the reason why I'm selling Hernandez is, yes, he's a great player. I've seen him play a lot of Milan. Very complete player. He can do both very well. He played great against Spurs. I remember. I believe the first goal was their only goal of the game was largely because of him. But I will say that he's not a player. He sometimes leaves a little to be desired, and certainly when he played for his national team, he didn't do anything.
okay.
Uh, I remember him being a liability on defense at times against England. So
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and say this: very close competition, but I'm gonna have to start Davies, bench Balde, and sell Hernandez.
Okay. Okay. And now moving on to our penultimate pick, Ruben Diaz, Ronald Araujo, and Militao. Start,
Mm.
sub, sell. Who's starting? Who's going on the bench? And who's being sold?
Ronald Araujo is starting.
Okay.
Um, this isn't even Barca bias right now.
This is
Out of
probably
the
his
three,
fault, honestly.
Out of the three, it's very close. I'm not gonna lie to you, but out of the three, I think Araujo has some of the best passing. I'll actually say Araujo has the best passing out of the three. Um, but not just that, like you look at physicality, speed. I think Araujo is the quickest out of the three. He's also the strongest, if I'm not mistaken. So he's just such an imposing figure at center back that, and we see how he plays against Vini. It's just phenomenal. Ruben Diaz is a very consistent and solid player, and we've seen a lot of him.
He's
Um,
absolutely transformed that Manchester City defense because
For sure.
when you look back at Manchester City, for example, you always pin that defense as being like a weak point. And in recent seasons, Ruben Diaz has absolutely transformed that Manchester City defense. And when you think about it, he has, I believe, in the two seasons he was prior to City winning the Champions League this season, they both made it to the semis. That's actually crazy to think about. Like he has been to the semis or the final.
right. So I will say this about that though. I think Ruben Diaz got a little bit too much praise in his first season. He won the Player of the Year in 2020, 2021, which I think was completely undeserved because Harry Kane got the most goals and assists, and he didn't win it.
Oh dang! Whoa, what trophies did you win?
I hate it.
I'm
It's
sorry.
an individual. It's an individual award, not what your team did. So again, be that as it may, absolutely robbed. But no, I think Ruben Diaz is a great player in his own right. I just think I'm gonna have to bench him and I'm gonna have to sell Militao. The reason I'm gonna have to sell Militao, and I know if there's any Madrid fans out there that watch that, they're gonna say I have no ball knowledge, that he's better than Araujo. But is he really though? I have seen Militao give some very good performances, and I know he's probably the best center back Madrid have right now. But realistically, how much impact does he have? Um, we saw Rudiger play phenomenal defense against Haaland and then not play in the second leg. And what happened in the second leg?
Exactly.
Okay.
Maybe Tower comes in and they get spanked 4-0.
So
Okay.
that's all I'm gonna say.
In my
And
case,
so, yeah, I think it's gonna have to be start Araujo, bench Diaz, and sell Militao.
okay, there is not a center back that I know in the world, aside from Araujo, that you can comfortably just say run him out against a winger like Vini, and trust that it's gonna be locked down. No center back in the world has the ability to completely humiliate a winger like Vini the way that Araujo does. His physicality ranks up amongst the best
Damn,
of center backs.
damn! You clearly haven't seen Alex play, and what's it called in pickup soccer, bro? Because like I see him getting like turned over and like demolished, like every two plays, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. But look, Araujo's
What
physicality is
what a fraud! As always.
Araujo, look, Araujo's physicality is among the best of center backs. He's got arguably the best speed. His passing is phenomenal. And again, he has balls, bro. He has
Mm-hmm.
balls. The
Mm-hmm.
aggressiveness that he shows on wingers is incredible. So I think he's the best. I think you gotta start him. Ruben Diaz. I know everyone's gonna say you're stupid for not starting Ruben Diaz because yes, I completely agree with you, Elias. Uh, he he fixed that City defense. That was always a question mark. Now it's solidified through him. He's one of the best centers in the world. He's a beast, and there's a reason. I agree with
Mm-hmm.
Alex. Maybe that player of the year should go to Kane. There's a reason why he won it. There's a reason why he won it either way. So, and honestly, if people have a different opinion here about starting Diaz, I'll take it. But I think Araujo's the
Okay.
best. Bench Diaz, and so Militao. Nothing bad about Militao. He's another great center back. I just think that in this case, there's two superior center backs ahead of him.
I completely agree. But we're 3 for 3 on the pick. I would say that, for example, that Ruben Diaz is a better passer of the ball than Araujo
Yeah,
and Militao. Just the thing is that I believe that Araujo's overall game, his like physical presence, his defending is much better than Ruben Diaz. Just I'm sorry, like I don't recall instances where I see Araujo thrown to the floor or
and look,
bodied like how I
and,
saw
and,
Haaland body Ruben Diaz.
and people are gonna say, "Oh no," but the wingers are like that's what we have fullbacks for to strike the wingers. If your fullback is not there, you have to take care of the winger, and no one
Exactly.
takes care of wingers that
Hmm.
are supposed to be superior in velocity and agility over center backs. No one takes care of wingers like he does, like Araujo does. So
Okay, okay. But guys, now on to our final and ultimate, our last one.
The last thing I'll say before we do this,
Okay, what's up?
Elias is a liar. I never got bodied or thrown around. Elias is the worst goalkeeper I've ever played with, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Continue, please.
Guys, I play goalkeeper because I like to warm up. I like to get blood like flowing into the muscles and everything. That way, when I do go out and I play defense, because I am a center back.
He
I actually
prefers to
play.
grab ball. He prefers to grab balls with his hands than with his feet.
Alex and you guys would know. You guys speak from
That's
experience.
crazy.
But what's it called? I lost my train of thought. No, I actually play proper defense. When I'm playing center back, unlike Alex. But that, that's another topic for a day. Like we should actually give you guys like some real life footy vlogs. But now
Man.
on to our final player pick. We have Ter Stegen. We have a World Cup winner, and we have a Real Madrid.
You
UCL
go
winner.
first. You go first.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I gotta hear this.
okay, guys. I'm obviously gonna be selling Courtois. No, you know what? I'm sorry, but I'm selling Ter Stegen. I am selling Ter Stegen. I am putting on the bench Tibor Courtois, and I am starting the World Cup winner who has single-handedly, but no, not single-handedly, who has made the greatest save in footballing history against Kolo Muani. Last minute, last couple of seconds of the World
I
Cup.
don't need to hear anything
I
else out
used
of
it.
you. Your thought process is the same as mine, and it hurts me because obviously Ter Stegen had a phenomenal season after having an abysmal season last year. He had a great season, and he's in great form right now. I'm gonna start from starting to selling.
Okay.
Okay, okay,
Wow.
okay. Wait, no,
I
no,
was actually picturing
no, no,
to
no,
be
no, no,
less
no,
controversial.
no, no. Okay, I'm saying that I'm gonna start from the start, from like who's gonna start first.
Okay.
El Dibu, just like I was talking about Araujo having the most balls out of the three center backs. El Dibu has the most balls out of the three goalkeepers. I mean, you okay. One thing to people are gonna say, okay, just because the goalkeeper's good at penalties does not mean he's such a good goalkeeper. In the stage that he was in that World Cup, I'm sorry, when you were there to take a penalty as a rival, that was worrying you. His
Bro,
attitude,
he had an aura. Guys, if you guys ever watched JoJo and like you saw like the stand, like bro, he had that aura where no one could get like, oh, are you approaching me now? Like that deal meme.
and
Um,
you know what, you
bro, I'm
should have
talking to
made
people who don't even watch it. Such uncultured people.
you should
Oh
have
my
made
god.
you should have made this picture of Edu wearing a Argentina kid, because
Yeah.
I feel like if you ask me right now, him in the Premier League, I will honestly sell him.
Okay.
Him
Okay.
for Argentina, he Messi carried that team, but without Martinez goalkeeping, they would not have made it that far. And that's last minute save that you said. It requires a certain type of skill to drop down and stop that in a 1v1. That was actually unbelievable.
Okay.
Again, so if you ask me, if this picture right now that you're showing me, I will start Courtois, bench Ter Stegen, sell Dibu. If this is El Dibu from Argentina, I am starting Dibu. I am benching Courtois and selling Ter Stegen.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually.
Wait,
I'm not.
hold on. Guys, I want you to zoom in right here. And where are Aston Villa? Well, where are they? Where are they? Oh, right here. They're in seventh. Oh, look at that. Who's in eighth place right there? Who's in eighth place? I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. But it seems that under Unai Emery, Aston Villa have managed to clinch European football. Like wow. Yo, Alex, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but are Tottenham Hotspur going to be playing in Europe?
Nah,
Or
Europe is overrated. It's for small teams.
it's
Right.
small teams, of course.
Yeah,
No,
This
but
is
I
why.
will continue, my friend,
No,
continue.
no, no. That's how I said. Start
Disrespect left and right.
Courtois,
That's what I'm gonna say.
bench Ter Stegen, sell Dibu, his Premier League Dibu. Start.
No,
Listen,
I mean, but you can't separate the two. It's either a guy who's playing for Aston Villa and saving them basically
you
like
know,
every single
okay,
saving them from being conceded like
you know,
3 or 4.
okay. You know what? Okay, fuck it. Start Martinez, bench
Of
Courtois,
course,
sell
of
Dibu,
course,
sell Ter Stegen.
of course. Like it's the only viable option that you can do. I'm sorry, he's a World Cup winner. But
Alex,
Alex,
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and say, start Martinez, bench Ter Stegen, and sell Courtois. You guys are gonna disagree with me, but like outside of the performance last season in the UCL, I can't really name Courtois ever being like is it the thing is like propaganda is funny because
no, we're
when
checking
we
him out
build
at this point, like at this point in time. At this point in time.
no at this point in time nothing. Isn't that guy either. Like I don't see Courtois tying the record for most clean sheets in a season. I
That's
don't
true.
see it, and I
Well,
don't
but
want to
then
hear
I also
oh my
see I don't see Ter Stegen like my guy. Every single time we go into a Champions League important game, I see
that's
Courtois like
true.
crumbling under the
That's
pressure.
true. That's true.
Like it's so frustrating. Ter Stegen, the last time I saw him perform well in the UCL match was against no well it was in the 2018 and the 2019 season. Other than that, I don't remember him ever stepping up in the Champions League. He is a liability. It's simple as that. We need in the big games someone who can basically bail us out, and Courtois is that guy. He's as simple as that.
My only thing is I have seen Courtois get thrown around and megged by a bunch of different strikers, whereas I can really say that what's happened to Ter Stegen's also been largely in part to the fact that the defense hasn't been great, but to each their own. You guys are gonna disagree, but I will have to say bench Ter Stegen and sell Courtois there.
Okay. But the most important thing is that we all are in agreement that the World Cup winner, El Dibu, should be starting.
Overrated to BH.
Overrated. The guy who is a World Cup winner. I'm sorry, but these two guys over here are not World Cup winners.
Yeah, but he's
Uh,
never won the Audi Cup, so I don't really care.
He's never won the other cup. Water and Audi Cup. But guys, that was it for our the start sub sell challenge. Let us know down in the comment section below. What do you guys make of our order? Did you guys completely agree? I know that there were some hot takes in this episode. Definitely let us know. What would you have done differently? Who would you start? Who would you have on the bench? But guys, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. Remember, I post a link on Twitter at Kool-Aid Podcast 10. Also, follow us on all of our social media platforms. I have links in the comments in the what's it called in the description for our Instagram, our Twitter, our TikTok, everything. But guys, remember, like, subscribe, and comment. And we'll see you guys all in the next episode.